Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago. This crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
That's how we do, D. That's how we do.
Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Here we go, here we go. 180! 45. Push him back. Push him back.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down.
Here we go, here we go, here
So
we go.
from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on first down. In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons leading tackler in 2018.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Stop your whining.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
42 is the mic. Ready?
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there and a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Watch QB's up. Watch the safety creep.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And some room to run now. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his third touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Check.
Here's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
14 yards there on a Falcon 1st down.
Ready, 280. Check right 54. Right 54. Down to lose 1. Hey, check.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 39-yard line.
Ready, at 25. Mike 54. I got it.
On 2nd and 12, Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And hang on here, Freeman shaken up, remaining on the ground after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Ready, at 25. We got to get the ball. Hey, 59, ready.
Now Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Grady Jarrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
45.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On first down, it's Coleman. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
White. 45. Silver.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Watch the edge. 11. Check out hot read. 80 weapon. 21.
45. On play action. Now Garoppolo. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. Spinning away. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Tack McKinley able to record his 5th sack of the season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Pettis hauling this in from Garoppolo. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Well, Pettis is quickly becoming the #1 receiving option for Jimmy Garoppolo. Into last year, John Lynch said that they loved the way he closed the season, really came on late. Remember, this is a guy that they traded up to get at number 44 back in 2018 out of the University of Washington. Sliding out of the pocket, looking for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Freeman. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as he'll be left with a 3rd and long.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. And let's get this. Hey, Sam. 54.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Going up top. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Here comes Pettis on the return. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Here we go.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This one complete to Coleman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Coleman. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan, he's got Smith here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Ryan. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return is Pettis. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
59. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. 2.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin as the first half is winding down. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing again on second down. Ryan airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
To throw is Ryan. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
21.
On second down, it's Coleman. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. All the way up to 27.
Robbie Gould, the kickoff for San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Watch the flood. Base. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Motion. Pop. Light 56. Gun. Let's go. 56. Let him go. 56.
Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Garoppolo now. Buying time to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Ryan. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They begin the drive with Coleman. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Looking deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And what can they do here on second and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Hey, South. Let's go.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
At the 37-yard line.
Here's Ryan to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards on the play, first down.
First down, Atlanta.
Ryan now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Double up. 58. Check three. Alert 3.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
58.
Now it's Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. This is taken at about the 14. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Garoppolo now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
I got this. 21. Hey, go.
From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Goodwin able to haul it in. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. Samuel, the 36 overall pick in last year's draft. Played his college ball at South Carolina. Really good senior campaign. 62 catches, 882 yards, and also threw in 11 touchdowns for good measure. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Flush to his right. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 15 yards on the play, first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Have confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo as his guys continue to pour it on. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
At their own 35-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. You can't have too many more drives like the way.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? This guys, he doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it.
Reception. Picked off at the 48. Reception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old. Run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Mostert. Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Here we go.
Just 2 minutes.